All right, Toyota fans, we got another one for you for the Toyota Land Cruiser. This is a 2024 in the shop today. Featured in front of me here is the 4-color TRD Heritage Stripe. We're doing this one for our good friends over at Trail Grid Pro. They hit us up, wanted to pay homage to the classic Land Cruiser design with a little updated modern flair. So we are making it available on the website along with many other designs, colorways. The classic 3-color design will be available as well, and many, many more. Every kit we offer is DIY friendly, and we go over step by step exactly how to install it. If you're interested in picking up one of these kits, visit vinylfoxusa.com. We're gonna go over first what comes in the kit, which in this case is a bottle that's empty. You're gonna have to fill it up, use warm water, and then we provide a slip solution that we're gonna use to install the vinyl onto the vehicle, along with an application squeegee, a really premium microfiber rag, and some prep solution to get the surface ready for the install. So first thing to do, fill your bottle up to the 25-ounce mark right here. Next thing you're going to want to do is unscrew the cap on the VF slip bottle. It is green, and you're just going to pour the whole thing in. The bottle we provide, along with the amount of solution we provide, is the perfect amount, as long as you go up to 25 ounces. We're going to put the top on it, and give it a swish. If you shake it, it might get a little sudsy inside, but no big deal either way. And that's ready to go. So we're going to jump over to the vehicle and go over step by step exactly how to do it. So right out of the box, again, you're going to have all that you need to install. And on your kit, you're going to notice numbers and letters. D stands for driver, P stands for passenger. And we specifically with this kit start with D5, which is the rear door rear piece. We're going to be installing white for video purposes. Your kit will look like this with all the numbers. Our white kit is not. All right, so it's always best to start with a clean vehicle. So whether you wash by hand or run it through a car wash before starting this whole process, that's ideal. You're going to want to grab your microfiber rag and the VF prep, and we're going to start, hit the surface and give it a wipe down. Run your finger along the edge of that door guard. All right. And grabbing D5 as our first piece again. Peeling it off. Open up that nozzle. Bring that back a little bit. There we go. We're going to hit that. My chair. And the goal here is to obviously line it up around the door handle and make sure it's straight along this edge. This wet install gives you plenty of time. You don't have to rush. You can make sure it's in the right position and then gently just start tacking it down a little bit. We're going to give it a quick mist on the outside just so this slips across the surface easier. The main reason we're using this white is because it's a black vehicle, and for camera purposes it just shows up much better what I'm doing. Okay, so that is in place. Just want to kind of roll this around like that. It's a nice flexible squeegee, so it should go right over the contours of the body. And we're going to move on to D4 now. We're going to spray it with our prep, give that a good wipe down, and we're going to grab our bottle, hit our surface, come back over here to the table and grab our D4. The vinyl that we've chosen to use for this is a very, very premium vinyl because the thickness of it provides a rigidity. So once we get it kind of lined up where we want it, we're just going to give it a gentle squeeze right here like that to kind of get it just starting to tack a little bit. Doesn't seem like it's lined up. It's not a problem. This thing will still shift around. We're going to give it a slightly harder squeeze. Not pushing very hard. Just kind of working some of that moisture out, letting that adhesive start to tack to the paint. And the main goal here is going to be to make sure you don't cross over the edge of your door. And it should line right up with that door cup. And then also line up with the piece back here and then down here. So it should be a nice fluid line. And you want about the same gap from the top of your vinyl to the top of this body line. Feel free to take a measuring tape and you can measure from the top of the vinyl to the body line and kind of make sure that gap is the same if you wish. And that's it. All right, we're going to move on to D6, which is the rear quarter panel on the driver's side. We're going to prep that. We're going to take it all the way over to where the taillight is. Give this a wipe down. We're going to hit the fuel compartment as well. That piece will be right after this. Give that a wipe. Okay. And we're going to quickly spray this. Get it ready. When you're peeling this off, you're going to want to be careful because it gets a little thin underneath at the bottom part of that fuel compartment. So you want to kind of grab it gently. You can tear the vinyl if you're not careful. You can kind of float it in your hand like this. Now we're going to line it up around that fuel compartment. Making sure our top line here matches the top line on the rear door. And then over here, should just start to arc up that body line. I'm going to grab our squeegee. Give it a gentle tack just to kind of get some of that water out. And we're going to want to hit this hinge point, as we call it, right here first, because if you start to lock this down and this isn't in place, it can twist on you. So we're just going to gently get some of that moisture out from behind there. Keep this lined up as we're squeegeeing it. I'm going to lift this back. Gently peel that back a little bit. Give it a little spray. Okay. Hold that like that. This. And with a little more pressure, we're going to lock that down. Should start to really tack up now. And there we go. Let's grab that little fuel compartment insert, toss that in. That is D7. Give it a quick spritz. I'm going to line this up in here. Just a little mist on top to let our squeegee slide over the surface. And we're going to make sure that the top, again, lines up with the pieces next to it. Light squeeze right here just to get some of that moisture out. Making sure it's lined up. Shift it a little bit. There we go. We're in business. This part down here might take a little longer to dry, and that's okay. You'll notice it'll shift around, so you want to kind of have it in place. And we're just going to let that dry on its own for a little bit. There we go. We're going to move on up to P3 here, right behind the door handle on the driver front door. We're going to take our prep solution and wipe it down. Okay, and now P3. A quick little mist. Lift that guy off, give it a little mist. And make sure it lines up. A little spray on the outside. Again, lets that squeegee just slide right over the surface. Nice and smooth. Light pressure. Just extracting some of that moisture from behind there, lets it start to tack. And once again, we're going to grab our VF prep, move on to D2, give it a good wipe down, a little mist. Kind of hold it down with your bottle like that, lift it back, work your way down. Get a quick spray, let it float in the air like this, get a nice even coat of the slip on it. Line this up. We're going to get a little more back there. A little bit on top. Light pressure, just kind of getting it into position, get some of that water out, not pushing hard. So I can still slide it, that's what we want. You should still be able to move it a little bit. Now I'm increasing the pressure with each stroke. Make sure your side over here is lined up. Around the door cup and the handle. This should fall right into place and stay straight and parallel with the other line. And now I'm using a firm amount of pressure, extracting all that water from behind it. Come down. This is a gentle right here. You don't want to really crush it with pressure. Like that. And there we go. We're going to move on to the last piece, D1. And we're going to hit this with our prep. Give it a wipe down, little spritz of our slip, go to D1. Give that a little spray. And nothing crazy here, we're just lining up that top edge, that bottom edge, and then make sure we have the same gap from there on both sides. A little spray on the outside, grab our squeegee, light pressure just to get some of the water out so it starts to tack. It's all lined up. Now we're going to give it some hard pressure. And that's it. So you're going to want to let this kind of set up before you wipe it down. We're going to move on to the passenger side and pick up there. All right, guys, we're going to run over the passenger side real quick. On this side, we are going to be installing the finished product, the 4-color TRD design. We're going to start, again, prep the surface, wipe it down, come over, and just like on the driver's side, we're going to start with P5, go to P4, then we're going to come back here to P6. This side does not have the fuel compartment, so it is just a single piece that we're lining up. And then we're going to move up to P3, 2, and P1. We're going to prep the whole surface. If you were wondering if there was enough in this bottle, I'm not even halfway, not even close to halfway, and we've done just about the whole vehicle. Remember to hit a little lower here. Final piece up here. Okay, starting again with P5. Give it a little mist. Hit that one. And for consistency, if you want to check the height from the top of the vinyl to the body line on this side and make sure it's the same on that side, and then adjust accordingly. But once you go around the door cup, it should put it mostly in place. Move on to P4. Light pressure at first. Get it into position. Gentle around the door handle. Just less contact area so it can slide around a little bit more. And now I'm increasing the pressure. Not putting a ton of pressure here. Make sure you didn't overlap that edge, and we are good. We're going to kick back to P6. The back side of this will obviously have that little pointy section. Slide it into place. Light pressure. Line up your top edges. Light pressure. Check your gap from the top of here to the body line on both pieces, and it should also line up on that contour. And now I'm putting firm pressure. That's it. And P3. Gentle pressure, kind of hold here as you're pressing out towards the edge. All right. P2. Again, hold it down, lift it off. A little mist. Get it about right here. Gentle pressure. Start to tack. Help that. You need to shift it, you still can. Worst case, if it kind of won't move anymore on you, you can always lift it back, respray some slip solution, and get it back where you want it. Gentle pressure. You always want to move towards the edge. You don't want to move from the edge towards the center. And we're on to our last piece. P1, little spray. Light pressure. We got it lined up pretty good. And that's it. Once you've done that last piece, you can hit it with a little quick detailer or whatever your favorite finishing chemical is. We prefer Meguiar's quick detailer. I'm sure we're not alone, but whatever you got should be just fine. You want to be careful with this, and when you're near the edge, you don't want to go into the edge of the vinyl. You want to kind of come over the top towards the paint, center out. If you want to pay homage to the classic Land Cruiser graphics, this is the perfect way to do it. This kit is super simple to install. If you are in doubt or questioning whether you can do it, I promise you you can. If at any point you have questions, please feel free to reach out. There's always humans on the other end waiting to help and assist you. We're always releasing new products for new makes and models, and we love hearing your suggestions. So jump down in the comments below, tell us what you've done, what you want to do, what you'd love to see next, and until next time, keep it stupid simple.